let's go up to Boston because I tell you what, he's a good man, and that was a big-time win last night. Coach, it doesn't get any better when we see those videos of coaches and players dancing after a big win. I know that was one joyous celebration. You guys put a lot of hard work into that game last night.
Yeah, I'm not too fond of them always coming in and getting our access to my dances. I'm not the best dancer, and so sometimes I need those to be private. But last night was a special night. Our guys, really had worked hard, preparing for that game, and I was just happy that they could find a way to win it.
Coach, did you get a sense after what's been sometimes a rocky road with some of these home games that, hey, this team was close to turning around the corner? Because that was in. You beat a really good basketball team last night. Virginia Tech is legit, and you guys really kind of controlled the whole ball game for the most part.
Yeah, it was a great win. Mike Young's doing a great job with that program. They got some very experienced players. But the whole time over the last 5 weeks, I felt good about our team. We just had so many guys in and out of the roster, so we can never be complete. We can never be whole. And so, we started to get guys to come back. We had time to prepare. We had time to practice. And last night we were as close to our identity as we've been all year.
Coach, the night before, we saw a couple of upsets in the ACC as well. I'm sure, obviously, you're paying attention to that from the outside. Did you speak to your guys about that? Did they know about that? Was that a message you sent that, hey, on any given night, anything can happen in this league?
I never really took a deep dive into it at all. The biggest message I have for the guys is we just have to believe in what we're doing and believe in our formula, and get everybody to do their job at the highest level. But I think we were so focused on preparing for the game, I didn't pay attention to a lot that happened the night before. So I didn't really see the scores of the upsets the night before.
Now, Coach, you talk about believing, and you've spoke about practice a few times. All fair, you said you guys were able to practice 4 practices consecutively. What does it mean when you're talking about believing and having those practices add up? What does that mean for your team?
Well, I think the biggest thing is, since the middle of November when we went to the Virgin Islands, we've had a lot of games back to back to back. And so we had maybe a day and a half to prepare or 2 days in between games, trying to decide, do you rest one day, practice one day? So a lot of times it's a one-day prep. But then you're doing that with like 2 or 3 important freshmen in the roster. So having those young guys to have, 4 days to just really get a better understanding of what we were trying to do and be able to hold them accountable to their efforts. I thought we just had spirited practices, and we were able to really, take at least a small step in the right direction.
Coach, this time of the year is always a little tricky, though, isn't it? I mean, for the most part, everybody's done with exams, so everybody's out. The campus is kind of quiet. You get the holidays going on. You get the grind of a season where, hey, you're already past the 1/3 mark. And you can kind of sometimes get into a rut, I think, even from a mental perspective. So what you're talking about with those 3 or 4 days of, hey, it's just us. Let's go practice. It's going to clean slate. Let's go play. But it is kind of a tricky time of the year, isn't it, as far as your schedule?
It is. A lot of times guys are ready to go home. They're a little bit mentally and emotionally fatigued, with the exams coming to an end. But for us, it was different because we had so many guys out. So I think we knew we needed to practice. So the thing that was refreshing for us was, hey, we actually have everybody to practice. Like we could really have a competitive 2 or 3 days. So our energy and our spirit was high because I think we got a boost from, just having guys in practice, healthy, and kind of being more holistic. So for us, it was probably the reverse, because our team haven't been whole. And I think having all of those guys in practice, it just gave us a boost of energy.
These pictures are so awesome. I want to ask you about Mekhi Ashton Langford, who was outstanding last night. But not only that, he's been really great all season. I know he's one of the guys who's battled injury. And for a team you mentioned is young, that there are several key freshmen, he decided to come back to BC for a 5th year to ride with you. How important has he been in the development of this BC team this year?
Man, he's been a warrior, just an everyday guy, always have the same spirit. Just always come in and work really hard. So his efforts are contagious, and he does a great job of leading by example. And so just happy for him. He had a huge game last night. He had missed, multiple games throughout the year. but just to have him out there and giving the energy that he gave us with so many winning plays that he made, it was just nice to have him on our side.
Now, Coach, one thing we know is after these big wins, we just want to find ways to stack them. For your team, how do you see them, building confidence off a win like this after Christmas, going into Christmas and finding ways to, hey, change around the season?
Well, we've been talking all year about, hey, we want to be our best in March. We want to be our best at the end. So in order to do that, we have to have daily growth. So, winning that game was just a step in the right direction as it pertains to growth. We're in year 2, and, the bulk of our core, they were here last year as well. So they should understand what growth means. We're trying to grow upon and build upon the foundation that we did last year. So I think having a win like this, it beats the alternative, number one, but it gives them a chance to even enhance their belief in what we're trying to do and the formula that we're trying to deliver to them as it pertains to how we're going to be successful. So they should come back excited, to get back to work.
Coach, I see those stockings behind you. Can the big man get down that chimney this weekend? Huh? Just asking.
Well, he's going to have to squeeze himself through there because my wife, she's got about 2 or 3 Christmas trees up. She got stockings everywhere. So he's going to have to find a way to weasel his way in here. He'll figure it out.
By the way, when it comes to shopping, in fact, I gave a theory about Christmas shopping earlier today on the show. Are you a good shopper, or are you just totally out of this? This is like, hey, get it off my plate. You know what? I got nothing to do with it. You tell me.
I am not a good shopper at all, but I'm pretty good on the 23rd and the 24th. It's finding a way to pull something together. But my wife is a high level shopper, so she's been shopping the last 3 months. So I think she's got that covered for everybody here in this house.
Hey, Coach, let me tell you now. You and I need to talk about this because this was my point. That anybody, and no disrespect to your better half or mine, anybody in October and November can find something, right? The great shoppers are like, hey, everybody get a head start, and then I'm coming into close, right? I'm coming into close, right? So I'm with you. That Friday, Saturday thing, that's when the great shoppers go out and pull the magic. That's how it happens.
Well, I'm excited. I'm excited about tomorrow. I'll get up, I'm a cafe hopper. So, I got time to go pop my cafes and then I'll be bouncing around from shop to shop. I'm sure I'll pick up maybe, 5 to 7 good items.
Yeah, I have total faith in you because you and I are on the same exact page, my man. That's exactly how we roll, man. Let the amateurs get out there and knock it out, and then the pros come into close, man. That's the way you do it. Yep.
Absolutely.
I like it. Well, listen, congrats on the great win. I mean, that was a big time W. And, as Taylor said, this week has been nothing but upset ridden, man. Duke thinks they're on top of the world. They go to Wake Forest and lose, right? That's just the way it rolls. This Miami team's playing good basketball. They knock off Virginia. We see Notre Dame, Florida State. I mean, almost every single night, you just don't know what you're going to get. Pittsburgh all of a sudden goes on the road at Syracuse, gets a win. You guys knock off Virginia Tech. It's going to be a crazy wild ride, and you've been down this road before, but it's going to be a fun time in the ACC.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I look forward to, continue to build with this team, and I think we got a group that's ready for the challenge.
Wish you the best, man. Good luck tomorrow.
All right, have a holly jolly Christmas, guys.